I'm seeing that Blu-ray players haven't evolved significantly in the past 4 to 5 years, and this stagnation prompted me to write this review. I sold my Blu-ray player a few years ago after experiencing some financial issues, but I always missed them a lot. A few months ago I decided to buy them again, and lo and behold, my favorites back then are still the best value Blu-ray players you can buy today, as there haven't been any significant disruption in the market. This unfortunately is driven by companies not investing in new technologies and developments because Blu-ray sales are a very small segment of their annual earnings. So small that many companies have stopped producing Blu-ray players. One reason I heard for this is that people are content with streaming, for example services like Netflix, HBO, Amazon, etc. via their TVs. Now quality TVs and premium services allow for high quality video and audio codecs. If they upgrade their AVR as they want even better surround sound quality. People in that equation are leaving Blu-rays behind. And may I tell you something? They are wrong. Well, not to sound too snobbish, everyone should enjoy whatever they want, however they want, but just adding a Blu-ray player in 250–400 euros price range, you can see significant improvements in audio and video. I will use my previous Blu-ray player and my new Blu-ray player as reference points. They are the Sony ubp-x800m2 and Panasonic dp-ub820. I hope I said them right, they are such a hard name to remember. I will try to contrast them with mini reviews as well. So why do I need a Blu-ray player in 2025? It's a similar question to why I need a CD player, a turntable, or anything that plays physical media. It's inconvenient and expensive, but many people forget all the costs of maintaining a platform monthly. It's much more expensive in the long run than just buying Blu-rays for the movies you like and will actually watch. It's higher quality and more streamlined than endlessly doom scrolling on Netflix searching for something. There are two answers. It's better quality and sometimes having a personalized connection with artists or movies you really like is a small victory for your hobby and for your passion. It's something enduring that will remain in your possession, which even after 10 years finding and playing will evoke pleasant memories and warm your heart. As you can see, one answer is objective, the other is utterly subjective, but both are important. But we will focus only on the objective part, and that is the player plus a Blu-ray is a better than streaming. And that fact is more prevalent to me than for example CD players or turntables, as Blu-ray files and Ultra HD 4K files are large, getting up to 60 and 120 gigabytes, and we all have internet connection with varying speeds and bandwidth. At every level of streaming, there are compromises and compressions. Compressions are cutting the bitrate and a bit depth, both in video and audio. And depending on the package you have, it will be more or less, but it will be there. Again, this is not something you notice if you only stream, but if you jump from 4K Blu-ray to the same 4K stream, you can notice a lack of sharpness, lack of color depth, and just a slightly less grainier sound. It is on a software level, but there are also big improvements on a hardware level as well. Using your player to organize, enhance, and with codecs improve your movie is super underrated. Just having a personalized DAC processor created just for this will do wonders that you did not even know it could. Pair this with a quality TV and if you can an AVR or some great soundbar, but I always recommend a full system than a soundbar, even though I completely understand the pros of owning a soundbar. And you will be just amazed with what a Blu-ray player and a great quality 4K disc can do for you. Clarity you get, and that's the clarity you get with a Dolby Vision or HDR10 Plus on disc is just more pleasing and gratifying than on streaming. And I think it is noticeable with great colors and vividness, but also accuracy. But what I have seen as the biggest improvement is audio, as textures and details become more palpable and real. The spatial audio was easier to track on the soundstage and just observe and separate details in the head. It is also used by incorporating many audio codecs like DSX and similar. It just allowed for a more bigger and detailed presentation of sound and more clear and present center voices. In the end, it is all how much you care about instant gratification of streaming over quality over quantity Blu-ray players, but you have to work for it on a Blu-ray players. But you have to put sort of like an extra work on a Blu-ray player, so there's of course a lack of versatility and a lack of instant access to movies you like. But in the end, the best choice is the one that fills all your needs. And streaming is awesome for most people as it has the perks of absolute versatility and easy access. But if you want the utmost excellence and quality, which requires you to leave your comfort zone, then Blu-ray player is even in 2025 might be a perfect thing for you. So let's talk about the Sony ubp-x800m2 versus the Panasonic dp-ub820. Yes, I said them correctly. Now, in my opinion, as an enthusiast consumer, and if you just don't want to assemble the like fully cinephile grade components, these two are the best choices. And it is a shame that it is still the same answer even like 5 years in a row now. As I said, the progress and the quality of players are stagnating, and it is what it is, unfortunately. But both of these devices bring tremendous value. One is more expensive than the other, but both have enough quality to justify their price points. Inputs and outputs, including disc reads, definitely in my mind it goes to Sony. They have the same Wi-Fi, same LAN, two HDMIs, one for audio, the other for video. Sony has a coaxial input while Panasonic has the optical input. They also both have a USB-A. But where Sony wins is what formats and files it reads. While video is similar in both, Sony reads DVD-A plus Super Audio CDs, which in my opinion opens Sony up for more versatility. And regarding formats that this players reads, Sony is absolutely killing it here, with almost every major popular format including MKV and MOV, etc. But Panasonic has an ace up in its sleeves. It can sort of work as a mini AVR, as you can have like 2.0 channels and 7.1 channels audio out to connect directly to your active speakers and subwoofers, depending on your needs, but I think Sony wins here easily. Panasonic has a nice robust design and is also a much bigger box. It is your standard plastic design, nothing special to mention here. While Sony, with its robust aluminum frame, is a fantastic for removing resonances from the motor. It is such a nice build, its chassis which offers a rigid structure to eliminate micro vibrations, as well as effectively working as an electronic shield, so all your experience is the highest sound and picture quality. Also the heatsink is great, including all the materials used to build this device. While the Philips laser is the same in both devices, I think Sony did a fine job here using quality materials to build this player. And this one goes to Sony with one big caveat. So, I read a lot online that there are a lot of Sony devices that are faulty. Their lasers are not properly aligned, which manifests in rendering 4K Blu-ray discs. At some point, while watching 4K movies, the movies after 60 or 70% will freeze. There is some issues with changing layers of the disc that creates a problem and freezes the movie. So you have to reset the device and play the disc again and scrolling to all the way where you actually came to watch that movie for if you want to finish this movie. It creates a lot of problems and issues and is a common thing. It did not happen to me, but so many people wrote about it, so it should be something you are aware of. So always buy this player if you have a guarantee or something. And now we come to probably the most important aspect, and that is a video quality. And to speak about that, it is important to understand the features that both offer. As far as HDRs, it is Panasonic that takes the crown here. It has HDR10, HDR10+, hybrid log gamma, it has Dolby Vision, and it has a custom tone mapping. It's honestly more than enough for your enthusiast needs. It just keeps you covered. Sony is similar, but only has Dolby Vision and not HDR10+. And Dolby Vision implementation is kind of poor on Sony, or maybe not poor, but strange. You have to manually remove or enable it if your movie has one, while Panasonic does it automatically if it notices that your movie has Dolby Vision as such. But Panasonic's HCX processor just kills it. I think Panasonic renders colors so vividly and brightly, but yet so much texture and details. It is such a magnificent presentation of cinephile magic. Watching Inception and like that James Bondish ski slope action where it constantly moves from different places in timeline. There was constant clarity and separation of people from scenery. It's fast-paced. There are a lot of close-ups, there are also landscape shots where always were very clear and detailedly separated. It was great, and the color tonality of all the timelines is different. One is grayish, one is whitish, one is more yellowish, and it all worked so well. And yet the truck that is falling into a river gave a strong sense of deep blue colors. And Sony is not a slouch there. While not having the deep dynamic richness of Panasonic, even though it is still excellent, it is incredibly clean. I think Sony is winning here in how much clarity and crispness there is in watching like nature, people, and just atmospheric shots. It is definitely a bit better than on Panasonic. And upscaling, while I did not notice a big difference between both of them, as I have a TV which already pretty decently upscales, I used my Blade Runner Blu-rays and it is hard for me to decide which one is better. I found maybe a bit less noise and frame rate interpolation to be better with Panasonic, but this is not something I noticed easily. But reading other people's opinions, they seem all to enjoy upscaling more in Panasonic than on Sony, but I cannot attest too much to it. But in the end, I found Panasonic's incredible picture quality experience to be a bit better than Sony's. It is not that there is an ocean between them, but Panasonic creates enough of a personal touch, creating a vivid, strong impressions that I just like that a bit more, even though Sony is also excellent. So Panasonic wins here. Now, this is where I was a bit shocked. Panasonic just brought its A game to sound. The sound was big, weighty, and super well controlled. To me, the most important aspect of cinematic sound is how clear it is for me to hear all the details and textures, and how many objects of spatial sound can create to create a bigger immersion. And Panasonic just did all of that better, and also adding true weight. There is true weight with every sound that reaches the lower notes. It is present, it is arm raising. Add some subwoofers and get that beautiful cinematic experience. Sony is great, but in comparison to Panasonic, The sound lacks impact and weight, which is sad. This is a category where they most diverge. Now, Sony on its own is great. There is a dynamic richness to it, as it also allowed a bit of highs to be ascended. But in the scope of general cinematic experience, highs just don't have such an important place as bass or mids or quality decluttered and clean sound. But the sound was clean. Via a central speaker, there was a palpable feeling listening to people speak. They were easy to understand and follow, and enough detail that we can feel sounds of people walking, dropping items on floor or table, to have enough details and objects in space to feel real. Or like when people type on keyboard, etc. It just lacks a bit more drama and weight to fight Panasonic here. So I have to give Panasonic the win here. As Panasonic had an edge in cinematic sound, it cannot hold a candle to Sony when listening to music or as a CD player. Panasonic sounded a bit flat and just not so engaging, and mostly there was too much emphasis of the warmth of the sound. It was too warm, and sometimes it covered the mids and drama in treble. While Sony was excellent as a CD player, it truly is dynamically rich, musical and open, and shockingly clear in its presentation. This could easily change your CD player. I was shocked, and if you pair it with an excellent external DAC, this could be a great gear to listen to music, honestly. It is just a great piece of equipment that was capable of creating sound stages, dynamics, declutter mids, and just pleasing treble. It's miles away from Panasonic that I would not recommend Panasonic as a CD player at all. So my audiophile heart is definitely more happy with Sony than with Panasonic. And compare that with how versatile Sony is with that it can read DVD-A, Super CDs, with its own quality LDAC to transmit music wirelessly with a great quality and a great upscaler. Sony is a big winner here. You'll have so much fun watching concerts on Blu-ray or DVD, or just listening music via CD. Overall, it is hard to choose a winner here, but one thing is certain: both are awesome Blu-ray players. Panasonic is better for movies, while Sony is better for music, but both can easily be endgame players for many enthusiasts. One thing where I would choose Panasonic as a better choice is that it has HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision. It has slightly better colors and picture quality. The cinematic experience is just a bit better than on Sony, and as units they are more reliable. But Sony is also there in the shadows, the musical brother that offers many similar qualities but brings joy with musicality and fun of watching concerts and listening to music via Blu-rays or CDs. So to me, I will probably choose Panasonic in the end, but Sony is also an amazing choice, and it's also Sony is cheaper, so everything I said here might feel your needs better, so Sony might be a perfect choice for you, but I just think Panasonic is a bit better device. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. It will mean a lot to me, and it will help me to continue to grow this passion of mine. So, see you on the next video, keep daydreaming, and see you soon. Bye!